Drop your weapons. All right, men, load your weapons. Drop your weapons. Oof! I need a weapon. Lord Vader won't accept defeat. A little help here.
There's it. Hang loose. Timer. Absolutely. There shouldn't be no going over. No. So, welcome to MongoozeMax Hawaii. The channel.
Awaiting orders, Commander.
You're reading this. Well, I'm gonna try to do something different, and I did some of that's news. You get kind of wrapped up into the news. And then I want to do a little different. I get to it in a little second there. Okay, well, first, might as well just tell you something about. I took some like little cliff notes. Okay. One, here, I'll just show you the headline. How's this? Da-da-da. Yeah, the restrictions. Governor,
Standing by.
not governor, mayor, thanks for correcting me. Mayor blah 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 Giadi has extended the restrictions. That's 10 limited inside, 25 limited outside, masking, distancing, etc., etc. 50% occupancy and all the business kind of. You can look at the details. He's going to extend that all the way to October 19th. Thank you. This is just time for Halloween. You can take off your mask or put your mask back on. Maybe that's what they're hoping for. You take off your mask on the 19th and then better put the mask back on. So they're watching numbers because that means business. That's for sure. The U.S. Arizona Memorial has got its little ferry. Its ferries are fixed. So you can go to the memorial. Where I had a haunted episode one time. Well, it's a paranormal event. And there's a giant volcano in Spain that's blowing up in the Canary Islands, which is like a name for this place, and then the little name is more specific. But one thing I could tell you about the Canary Islands, you know, if you ever study tsunamis, which is the big giant waves, and you ever see them in the movies, like 2012, the whole world's gonna collapse. No, it can't be the end times. But you know, the giant 1,000-foot wave, and you experience tsunamis in real places, and they don't look anything like the movie, but they're destructive. Well, anyways, they calculated one of the biggest destructive possible tsunamis can happen on the East Coast, like the 1,000-foot kind, like you see in the movies. 1,000-foot kind tsunami wipe out New York City like that. Oh, how can that be? Well, it's easy. The Canary Islands is a shield volcano, so it's like this, but there's splits like this, so the whole thing can go crack and then slide into the ocean. So the big massive amount of dirt, like avalanche, but giant amount of dirt goes into the ocean, which displaces the water, and it travels across the Atlantic, and then I love New York. Little water stains on it. Alright. Now, this is what I wanted to do. I was, my brother works in film, television, behind cameras, grip, and electrical, and mostly does like script stuff. He's done it for like eons, since dinosaurs. No. He's done a long time, so he's up in the ranks with like 3 different unions, and he's up there with like, does best boy stuff, which is like a manager of grips and all kind of thing. Been doing stuff like that, and camera mounts, and he shows pictures. It's a camera mount. And one of my nieces, not the other one, the different one, has gotten into that business too. Anyways, blah blah. So I hear this stuff and I get shirts like film crew for Christmas. Well, there's shows that show up in Hawaii, and one giant new one is NCIS or NCI. I don't know, whatever. It's the NCIS Miami, NCIS Las Vegas, NCIS, and then they have NCIS Hawaii, and they had their first debut show last night. So they're using local actors, and there's like a lot of local actors. My Shakespeare group over here. I'm doing this because acting. The Shakespeare group I'm part of over here, a lot of them go into the, that's why they do the Shakespeare group, because they keep their chops up, and so some of them do that, not all of them. Now, a lot of them almost. Anyways, I watched it. Now, when Magnum PI came out, and he lived next door, I was on the mainland USC, and I came back home. It was still going. At 8 o'clock at night, I'd get up, walk through the living room, run outside, and go to Waikiki nightclub bars. That was back in the day. Not no more. And so, I never watched Magnum PI. I was like, I saw it once, and then I saw the guy before it was even famous with his eyes go up and down. Thompson like waved to me before he was like, "Who the hell is that?" Because he's parking a Jeep. And then he let him use the Ferrari. Anyway, film. Not much of a critique. Not much of a critic. More of an artist. I'm a lover and a fighter. I'm MongoozeMax, formerly known as artist. Okay, I watched it. Here's my critique. I seen Hawaii Five-0, early one. Show Hawaii Five-0, Jack Lord. You see background scenes of Hawaii, and that's what makes it really popular. These scenes of this and that, and if you live in Hawaii and you watch the show, it's like kind of, oh yeah, there's Makapu. But all of a sudden they turn the corner and they're like, wait, now they're in like Kalihi. How did that happen? It was like different parts of the island, and continuity didn't really flow. So this one, since they built right over here a studio, inside the studio, and I worked there for a couple times doing this painting thing, and that's another story. So I seen the inside. So they had this building. It's right across the street from the cemetery. But there's this building, kind of warehouse looking thing. And inside the building, they got the set. And so they moved one show out and then put another production show, the production of another show in, and they built and rebuilt the set. So you go in there and you walk around this thing that looks like rooms that are inside, but you're looking on the, like if you're inside a wall, you're looking at the inside of the back of the wall. Then you go on the inside of that, and it's all decked out with furnishing. It looks like you're inside a room. And if you see a window, right? A window, and has like a curtain and maybe a little plant, or maybe a plant outside that's moving, and then you see something like Aloha Tower in the background. It's a backdrop that's painted. That's where I came in one time. So, they got that jacked up. That isn't Jack Lord, that's in jacked up. They have it jacked up for NCIS. So that's their headquarters. That's HQ for NCIS. And they've been filming down the road. I've seen the trucks. Even one of the trucks had Navy on the side of the truck. So they're in cooperation. They like to promote. It's sponsored by the Squids. I used to talk to military people. Anyway, and Red Hill, And the reason I'm going, let me tell you what it looks like. I mean, I'm just critiquing, I'll tell you what it looks like. It's a little bit like I'm talking right now. Fast, jumbled, trying to throw out information, and disjunct. That was like the storyline. It was like, what the hell just happened? The story goes where the guy yeah, it's like they show you the thing. It's like there's a Navy jet. Boom, 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 in the side of the mountain. Okay, now they're in the side of the mountain. Plane crash, and everyone's like, "Oh, on the beach, oh!" And everyone's like, "Oh, what happened? Gotta find out." So you watch the show, and the whole story of the first show wraps around that. And of course, there's this they introduce the protagonist, a girl named Tennant, I believe, is the character name. She's like, "Oh, soccer mom." She's like, "I'm playing soccer. They can local check soccer." It's Kahala Warriors on the little girl's shirt. Like, they're not even in Kahala. I'm doing one of these things, right? So sorry about that. Kahala Warriors, there's soccer, and he's like, "Oh." She talks to her the elder son that she has. Take the girls in. Take care of the team, because these guys run onto the soccer field. Clear the field. And they're like, "Oh, take the girls in." And then she goes across the field, helicopter lands, and she gets into the helicopter, and it's like, I don't know, NCIS, National Guard cooperation with, I don't know, wherever she is. She's NCIS, that's what she is. Hawaii. So it's MongoozeMax Hawaii, because it's Hawaii right here. Oahu, in the middle of the North Pacific Ocean. She is ported to the site of the plane crash. And it's like, "Oh, something happened." The guy's like, "Mr. Navy, this is our jurisdiction." And she's like, "Wait a minute, if you go up the rank, you'll find out it's our jurisdiction." And it's one of these things. Now you're introduced to the Navy side of the NCIS, the N part. The N word. Navy. In the Navy. Where the other branches call us squids. And then there's a brawl in Aloha Bar in Waikiki at 3:30 in the morning. Anyway, so they get going on this investigation. They get some things. Then all of a sudden, why I'm going, all of a sudden, right? They're inside the headquarters, like I said. And who's inside the headquarters? The guy walks in. This one guy walks in. He walks into one of the offices, right? And the office is like, "Here's the guy with kind of like loose slush shirt, shorts, friffly hair, kind of like this friffly hair, but he's got big bug eyes, like. And he's like, He sits down. He's like, "Just a minute," and he pivots around, and all the computers, right? The computer sound. I don't want to freaking mess it. I pressed the wrong button. Ding. So they got the big, bug-eyed computer guy that can just go like this. Oh, and it's like this. And go just a second. You mentioned that? It's like one of these things. Okay. So they kind of, in my view, pulled the character out of Jurassic Park. Remember when he stole the dinosaur DNA and he locked all the things except for he shut down the park so he could escape? And then they try to override the computer and it's like, you didn't say the magic word. That guy. So they got that character in here. Not the same actor, but it's like the idea that... It goes like, oh my gosh, okay. And we're moving along with this... Oh, I took notes. I didn't even refer to my notes yet. Let's look at the notes. What I called a moving pans. So it's like moving pans like that. That's like, I was like, not quite, but it was like moving pans. It's like it's going like this way, but it's like moving. Okay. Oh, I just messed up everything now. Moving pans, drone shots, and there's quickness. Parallel development, which has like one story going on and then another story going on. And that's very common in film storytelling. You cut to this story, then you cut away and you see what's happening back at the ranch. It's the back on the ranch thing. And you go back and forth. They're doing this, they're doing that. They're introducing the characters that they want you to relate to, especially from Hawaii. And if you're not in Hawaii too, feel like you're from Hawaii. Relate to the characters and you're, yeah. They want all that stuff and they have to introduce it. They have to introduce a whole lot of things plus the story. which is the pilot was on, I don't know, not crack, but speed, and they throw out the names of stuff. And he had the... But one thing was cool about it is it was more like it had a James Bond spy flavor to it. Not quite James Bond. No. But it had that flavor because the storyline was they're stealing the secret for the jet, and there's I think a Chinese connection. There's China connection to this girl who spikes the drinks at the bar with this drug, and then you get the secrets from the guy, and the guy, I guess, felt guilty, or he didn't want the plane to go into the wrong, and he crashed the plane. It explains it all, but it's weak when it explained that all, and you're watching this stuff go by. It's like, what the heck's happening? Parallel development. It's fish, fish, fish. I was like, what's going on? And all of a sudden, it's, hey, that's Makapoo. And then twice in there they use the line. The guy walks in, right? He's walking. Like this, a little bit of action is going on, and then somebody walks in. It's like, oh, the door was open. And then later on, same thing. Oh, the door was open. So they got this kind of.
Ready for action.
I know, and the door was open. The door was open. I forgot to do that. I was going to do that at the beginning of this thing. I was going to go, oh, hi. Oh, the door was open. Oh, I'm inside your house. And, okay,
Keep moving, trooper.
one of their promising characters turns out to be the new guy, of course. He's Hawaiian. He's from Mahalo, of course. He has trouble with his dad, so, oh, you talk to the dog. I don't want to talk with resolve a problem. They're trying to do interpersonal relation snags, and he comes on. Everyone in headquarters is like, high professional office, high professional office, high professional office, high professional office. And then this guy's like,
Standing by.
hey man, yeah, he's kind of like little more local style. Okay. The character name is Kai. Alright, so Kai has a sister. Sister is Hina. And she's kind of a local girl. She might know some stuff because of connections there. So she goes teaching, water things in Waikiki Beach. So they have differences too. So, because he went out and joined the military, now he's back. Didn't say bye. Never say bye-bye. So he comes to see her on the beach. Hina, what's up, Hina? And then she's like, looks up in the canoe, and you see her face, and she's like, oh, kind of cold. And then she turns around, swings around, whap! Punches the guy. And he twists and falls down. And I'm going, da 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 da. Indy comes into the bar. Marion, have you seen the headpiece to the strap of Rod? She turns around. Pah! Now I know it's cliche to kind of compare, but hey, it looked so much like the same action. I mean, try a different camera shot. And then the big spy guy was the Big Luna. Big Luna, the big guy. I think they chased him down. It was pretty cool. And the one girl, I don't know. One girl went in to talk, and it was like repairing relationships. She goes in to talk to this other girl. She's like, oh, I came in to say I'm sorry. And I by the way, I need a list of names because they're investigators. And then they walk into the room, and it's like, so it was a gay kiss. Girls. Sorry, guys, if you're gay. But it was like with the GLBT inclusion, but it was just like, whoa, what's going on? Like, okay, but so many things were happening so fast. The door is open. It was just like, of course, they're introducing everything, and then it got resolved. So, I don't know if it's worth seeing, give it a chance, go watch, and decide for yourself there. you know, I think we got a little chance to. I reserved a little spot so we can do a little of this. Homeland Security. Just say that we were all Afghan refugees because they let the Afghans in, but not the other guys, the Haitians. All right. Now over here, there's a couple of these I want to show, and I don't know. We'll just. Okay, come on, baby. Come on, baby, let me fire. Jump on a volcano. This is a 1,000-foot tidal wave. You just never know. We're all going along. They're right. Which one was it? Okay, this guy's worried about his ID stuff. Was it this one? No, not that one. Oh, I think this one. I want to check out this one. Okay, it's gonna ring. I'm gonna be. I'm not that over. The Bible, I'm melting, Dorothy. The Bible doesn't prohibit COVID-19 vaccinations. No, it don't. The first recorded use of vaccination occurred in the 16th century in China. Interesting. The hollow metal needle was invented in 1844, or 44. Depends if you're Australian. And syringes were separately designed in 1853. The Old Testament began to take form in the 8th century BC. I've been looking into this stuff but anyways, let's just let that go. 8th century BC. It was written. A lot of it was written and rewritten right after the Babylonian exile, the diaspora. And we'll get to that. Probably never. While I'm not familiar with the Korean too. Throw it all in with that. While I'm not familiar with the Quran, I grew up in a Mennonite family, kind of like Amish branch. Family in different churches competed in a Jeopardy-like competition, so I memorized most of the King James Version of the New Testament. Not the best translation, but it's a classic. While there is mention of the practice of bloodletting, the words vaccination or injection cannot be found anywhere in either of the Old or New Testament. That's because they're written before that stuff existed. But let's continue. I do not understand how someone can claim a religious exemption without being able to cite the passage instructing them not to be vaccinated. To my understanding, the Bible reads, "Thou shalt not murder," which includes killing yourself by not getting vaccinated. Carl L. Jacobs, IAEA. It wasn't invented then. I don't see how they can do this. Oh, and this one here. Okay, so this is it. Okay, this is okay. Don't blame Ige for declines in tourism. I am sick and tired of everyone, would-be visitors, anti-vaxxers, and multinational hotel corporations included, blaming Governor David Ige for declines in tourism. There are a few other factors. COVID-19 itself, politicians trading human lives for votes, and the billions of foolish Americans who have refused to be vaccinated. Ige didn't cause the problem. He merely described it. Like I did with the show. I was just describing it. Would the money-grubbing hotel chains and anti-vaxxers parading in Waikiki prefer that visitors spend millions to walk among our unvaccinated and then join the patients begging for our hospital beds? Walter Wright Kaneohe. That's right. Anyways, you got your 411. Aloha. See you next time. Bye. Bye-bye.